With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the response.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. And he'll elect not to run with it. The fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line. Dak going to start out going to the air. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Here go 40 seconds. Hey, kill.
To throw is Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
They'll throw again. Prescott. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Prescott from the gun. That is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Luke Schoonmaker from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Jameis to throw it. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking for Lamb, but It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Now, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
A run for Kamara on first down, but the running room closes up quickly as he's only able to get a yard there. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9.
At the 37-yard line.
Throwing, Winston. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big time.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the 13-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis. And the Cowboys will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some
Oh, he tried to fit it in back over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Winston. He's got his target. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Winston. And it's caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He was a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Well, the ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal.
Winston keeps it himself, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Saints have got it back to within a score.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. He's got a man complete. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
To the air again, Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10.
Now Prescott. To the right side and caught by Dell. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. He's got his running back out of the backfield. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark it down at the 9. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
McCaffrey will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team.
Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Quick.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Jackson, options out left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Open man is Michael Irvin, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
I do think that sometimes on third and long, many defenders just get caught watching the sticks instead of watching the ball. And the guy who's got it, because here, they just got the ball into the receiver's hands and told him to do it yourself, a little bit of a desperation play. And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big game and a conversion on third down. That's a big pickup.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Jackson. Escaping. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. To throw is Jackson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. There he goes, right side.
Down the right sideline.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say that their plan worked to perfection.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Waddle will return this from the end zone.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Well, this one's complete. It's Rashee Rice. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make...
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick six, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Tano Passanio. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Ready?
A first down throw for Winston. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get him right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down. On second down, Kamara. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Third and 3. To throw is Winston. That is caught. And he is going to have a Saints first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Kamara up the middle. And some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And they're going to speed things up here. On 1st and 10, Winston. This to Graham on the short pass. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. To throw, Winston. His throw incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, Winston. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Winston now to throw on first down. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
A second down throw for Winston. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Winston. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. A 1-touchdown ball game. 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rushed decisions or another turnover.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Third down and 13. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll send Irvin in motion left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And all the way in for the touchdown. Sam Laporta, 34 yards. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the 3rd quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10.
Brian Brzee, the man to bring him down. From the 23, here's 2nd and 5.
Jameis to throw it. The connection made. It's Graham. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a 1st down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Michael Strahan with a tackle for loss there.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now Winston. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara.
Now he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8.
Here's Winston.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Winston. Incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now. They use 4th down now, but not got another turnover on his ledger.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Here's Winston. It's caught outright by Graham. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A 10th carry for Kamara.
He works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They go play action. Winston. Open man, it's Keith Kirkwood. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Winston. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left.
Here comes 2nd down at 5.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Here now, 3rd down.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Now 1st and goal.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance of 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Well, defensively, that's a nice stop there on 3rd down here in the 4th quarter. Now, offensively, kicking the field goal, taking the lead, right?
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Especially since you got stopped on the previous play. But if you've got something you really like, something that you've practiced all week, and you think, hey, this is the time to use it, this is the play, I wouldn't be deterred. I would gamble a little bit and go for it right now.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
At their own 45-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Jackson.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Complete to Irvin. And past the 40 before it was out of bounds.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Down man, it's Michael Irvin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On for the field goal. A 58-yard attempt.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will tie things at 17-all.
Four quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles. My palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself. But let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
Got his man, it's Warren.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 2.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ted Hendricks making his presence felt. Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right.
There's Laporta. He's got it, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down.
Let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on fourth down.
On the give, it's Warren. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 35, here's second down and 7. A handoff for Warren.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here's Jackson.
Eluding the pressure right.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Now Jackson.
Oh, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to get the football back at their own 17. Boy, that one hurt, CD. They were in field goal range. They wanted that touchdown, understandably, but now a field goal on the other side would beat them.
And when you get the ball first in overtime, you're thinking to yourself, nothing less than a field goal, but you really want the touchdown. You don't want to put the onus on your defense to try and hold. In this case, they put it on them anyway, but at least they were aggressive, trying to get the score that would have ended the game.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
One team squandered opportunity. It's another team's chance to win this thing. They forced that clutch turnover, and now all they need is a field goal here to win this ball game.
Could not be set up much better, could they? A takeaway on defense. Now it's up to that offense to find a way to put themselves in position for the game-winning points. Touchdown, field goal, they don't care. Just find a way to win it.
What can Winston do in the OT now?
He's got his target. It's Olave.
One overtime. How about two? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. First down throw for Winston. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's second down. Again, this is Kamara.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. 2 yards still to go. Third down now.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams.
And this will wind up a Saints first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Working out of the gun, Winston.
And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? Anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. From the gun, Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Now he's free at the 35. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. So it's a win for the home side, and it was just too much Lamar Jackson. He really played well.
Yeah, the numbers don't jump off the page, but he was a steady influence back there. He had a couple of touchdown passes on the afternoon. His guys rallied around him, and they're going to come away victorious.
So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough. with Charles Davis. As always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. Oh, good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
As the excitement continues to swirl after that return, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm thinking about keeping that excitement going. Already in scoring position, I've got to take some shots at the end zone right now.
Let's go.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after him early. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on third down. Now Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Alec Ingold punching it in from a yard away. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And foreseeing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Throwing, Winston. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games, too? Oh, what the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First down, Winston. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They forced him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Johnson running right. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Johnson. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now it's Locke. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 23. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. On first down, Locke. Going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Saints will take over here just shy of the 30.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
2nd down, Winston.
There's Chris Olave.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Winston on target to Olave for the Saints first.
Even. Wait.
At the 40-yard line.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This is going to be a corner route to their tight end, and I'll tell you what, it's man coverage, so that makes it hard for a linebacker to stay with him. And he's able to make the catch on the right side of the field and pick up the first down.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Now Winston. Looking deep downfield. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. 40 yards.
And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. Now Luck says let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. On second down, Johnson.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Locke.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, every play certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Locke. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
Alvin Kamara.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn getting set for quarter number 3 here. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this one... out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Toss wide side. This is Kamara.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Winston now. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
This to Graham on the short pass. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, giving different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
128 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Winston. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. To throw is Locke. He completes it to Beckham. Touchdown! 35 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 12 yards there as they move the chains. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Again, it's Kamara. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail by 2 scores in the fourth, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Time to see what this offense has left in the tank. And now they're in the hurry-up. Here's Locke. He'll buy some time right. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Here's Locke. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go on fourth. Locke. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. To throw is Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Still moving. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
This is 1st and 10.
After the interception, it's Locke. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here comes second down.
Back to throw. Locke rolling to his right. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Out of the gun. Locke. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
Go!